Some motorcycle engines don't just make power, they make you question how such machines were ever allowed to exist. Today we're diving into 12 of the most unreal motorcycle engines ever produced, each one pushing engineering far beyond the ordinary. And to understand just how wild this world can get, you have to wait till the end, where we meet the mysterious powerhouse that shattered expectations in a way no rider saw coming. Number 12. Moto Guzzi V8. In 1955, while the Grand Prix world was still locked in the age of singles and twins, a small Italian factory lit a fuse no one saw coming. Moto Guzzi unveiled a 500 cubic centimeter, water-cooled DOHC V8 race engine. 8 cylinders, 8 carburetors, 12,000 revolutions per minute, roughly 78 horsepower, and a top speed tearing past 170 miles per hour at a time when most machines struggled to touch half of that. This was not engineering. This was mechanical insanity with a purpose. The tragedy was never the motor itself. The tragedy was that nothing else on the motorcycle could survive it. Frames twisted, brakes faded into fear, tires surrendered without warning, crankshafts snapped, pistons welded themselves solid. The engine outpaced the very world meant to carry it. By 1957, riders refused to climb aboard. The project didn't retire, it vanished. Only 2 authentic V8s remain on Earth today, locked away, silent, untouchable. But for all its brilliance, the V8 was also fragile, experimental, and almost too ahead of its time to survive. It showed what was possible, but not what riders could actually own. So next we shift from a fragile racing dream to a machine that brought impossible performance into the real world. A motorcycle so far ahead of its era that it felt supernatural the moment it hit the streets. Number 11. Vincent Black Shadow. In the smoking aftermath of World War II, when most manufacturers were simply trying to survive, one British company did the impossible. Vincent built a motorcycle that didn't just compete with the world, it outran it. The Black Shadow carried a 998 cubic centimeter overhead valve V-twin that produced roughly 55 horsepower and pushed past 125 miles per hour. At a time when most road bikes still felt fragile, this one felt untouchable. But the speed was only half the story. The engine served as a stressed member. The suspension was years ahead of its rivals. The tolerances were hand-fitted. No shortcuts, no compromises, just obsessive mechanical discipline. Today, collectors pay well into 6 figures for a clean example. Not for nostalgia, but for respect. But even a legend like the Vincent belongs to another age. Its brilliance comes from refinement and craftsmanship, not from the technological revolution that was about to hit motorcycling. Because the next engine didn't just push boundaries, it reset the entire blueprint for performance and forced the world to rethink what a motorcycle could be. Number 10. Honda CB 750 Inline 4 engine. 1969 did not just introduce a motorcycle, it unleashed an engine that rewrote the laws of what the street could handle. Honda's 736 cubic centimeter, air-cooled, single overhead cam. Inline 4 delivered nearly 70 horsepower with a smoothness riders had never touched before. No Kickstarter rituals, no temperamental tuning, just electric start, instant response, and power that pulled clean past 125 miles per hour without shaking itself apart. This engine didn't demand sacrifice, it demanded attention. 4 cylinders meant balance, mass production meant reliability, and when Honda priced it under $1,500, the industry felt the ground shift. Overnight, multi-cylinder performance was no longer exclusive. It was expected. Today, early examples of this engine alone command serious money because collectors know the truth. This was not just horsepower. This was the moment refinement overpowered tradition. If this video helped you track down the ultimate engine for your bike, smash that like button, drop a comment, and hit subscribe. Your support is the high-octane fuel that keeps this channel running so we can keep bringing you the most perfectly tuned information. Now back to the countdown. The next engine didn't chase refinement at all. It chased unfiltered violence. Number 9. Suzuki GSX-R1100 DOHC Inline 4 engine. Back in 1986, Suzuki didn't bother refining the sport bike engine, they oversized it. The GSX-R1100 arrived with a massive double overhead cam, 16-valve inline 4 displacing between 1,050 and 1,100 cubic centimeters depending on year. Early versions hurled out well over 120 horsepower and shoved the speedometer beyond 150 miles per hour with frightening ease. But the madness wasn't just size. Suzuki controlled the heat with oil instead of water, using its advanced cooling system to strip weight while letting the motor breathe and scream. The result was a power plant that felt raw, violent, and shockingly light for its output. In an era when most engines hesitated under stress, this one thrived under abuse. Today, clean examples still trade from the mid-four figures into serious collector money. And the reason is simple. This engine didn't negotiate with physics. It challenged it. But raw power alone wasn't the final stage of unreal engineering. Riders wanted refinement, precision, and performance that didn't just overwhelm, but reshape what a superbike felt like at high speed. And that is exactly where the next engine takes us. A power plant that didn't just add more speed, but redefined the meaning of superbike smoothness and top-end fury. Number 8, Yamaha FZR1000 Genesis Inline 4 engine. By the late 1980s, the leader class arms race was already loud. And then Yamaha appeared with something quieter, smarter, and far more dangerous. The FZR1000 Genesis Inline 4. Just under 1,000 cubic centimeters, double overhead cams, liquid cooling, and a 20-valve head that moved air like a race motor. Peak output climbed into the 130 to 140 horsepower range depending on model year, and real-world runs pushed top speeds beyond 150 miles per hour, with some tests touching 170. But the brilliance was balance. The Genesis architecture delivered screaming peak power, while Yamaha's later X-Up system broadened the mid-range, giving a flexible push instead of a single violent spike. Riders could hammer a straightaway and still control the exit. It was engineering aimed at speed you could actually use. Today, values range wildly, from affordable daily riders to collector pieces, because the engine wasn't legendary for rarity. It was legendary for results. But precision isn't the only path to the unreal. Some engines chase greatness not through high revs and smooth power, but through character, rhythm, and a mechanical heartbeat that feels alive. And across the Alps, an Italian company was preparing an engine that didn't just perform, it transformed racing culture with a sound, a pulse, and a design philosophy that no four-cylinder could imitate. Number 7, Ducati 851 Decimo Quattro V-twin engine. 1987, a cold paddock, fuel vapors, and hot metal hanging in the air. Then the first scream of Ducati's Decimo Quattro. The 851 engine was a 90-degree, liquid-cooled V-twin with 4 valves per cylinder and fuel injection at a time when most factories were still trusting carburetors. Displacement sat at 851 cubic centimeters, and output landed between roughly 93 and over 100 horsepower depending on the trim, with factory race builds pushing speeds far beyond 140 miles per hour. But the brilliance wasn't the number alone, it was the method. Ducati used desmodromic valve control to eliminate valve float at high revolutions. The cylinder heads were built to breathe like a race motor, and the compact trellis chassis treated the engine as a structural member, turning the motor into the heart of the entire machine. That strategy transformed Ducati into a world superbike force. The Decimo Quattro didn't talk about racing, it won, and the road versions carried that DNA directly to the street. But even brilliant engineering has limits. The 851's greatness came from balance and sophistication, not from brute force. And some engines earn the word unreal simply by overwhelming the senses with size and torque that border on impossible. Because next we leave the racetrack entirely and face an engine so massive and so commanding that it feels less like a motorcycle motor and more like a force of nature. Number 6, Triumph Rocket 3 Inline 3 engine. This engine does not arrive quietly. It announces itself like thunder rolling through your chest. The Triumph Rocket 3 carries a 2,458 cubic centimeter inline 3, the largest displacement production motorcycle engine ever sold to the public. At just 4,000 revolutions per minute, it unleashes over 160 pound-feet of torque. That is not acceleration. That is a gravity failure. Most modern engines chase redline. This one simply overwhelms. Massive pistons, dual overhead cams, and ride-by-wire control turn sheer size into disciplined violence. Twist the throttle in any gear, and the landscape starts moving backward in a hurry. New models push past $24,000. Used examples still demand five-figure money. And none of that pricing is hype. It is payment for experiencing torque on a scale most riders never touch. Now it is your turn. But before we dive into the top 5 most unreal motorcycle engines ever produced, we want to know which of these insane engines stole your heart or saved the day when you were stuck in a mechanical mess. Drop your stories in the comments and let us ride along with you, because that is what makes this community alive, unstoppable, and absolutely electric. And in the world of Grand Prix racing, there was one engine so fierce, so explosive, and so uncontrollable that only the bravest riders could truly unleash it. The next engine on our list proves you do not need mass to rewrite the rulebook. All you need is brilliance. Number 5, the Honda NSR 500 V4 two-stroke. Picture a racetrack in the mid-80s, trembling under the shriek of Grand Prix machines, and one engine that sounded like it was bending reality. The Honda NSR 500 V4 was not simply powerful, it was unhinged. Honda carved a 499.3 cubic centimeter, liquid-cooled, 112-degree V4 two-stroke that delivered its fury in a violent, razor-thin window only the brave dared to touch. With over 180 horsepower and race-tuned examples punching toward 200, this half-liter storm shredded the senses. Its explosive surge, featherweight mass, and instant throttle hit created a power-to-pound ratio that felt supernatural. This engine won championships, broke egos, and rewired the limits of what two-stroke engineering could be. But as breathtaking as it was, the NSR lived in a world most riders would never touch, a pure race machine, forever out of reach. And the question became, could that kind of unreal performance ever exist on the open road, controllable enough for everyday riders, yet fast enough to terrify anything in its path? One Japanese manufacturer took that challenge personally, and what they released didn't just approach racing speed, it shattered the world's expectations of what a street-legal engine could do. Number 4, the Suzuki Hayabusa Inline 4. Some engines feel strong. This one felt impossible. When Suzuki launched the first Hayabusa, its 1,299 cubic centimeter, liquid-cooled, dual overhead cam Inline 4 did not just raise the ceiling, it blew a hole straight through it. This 4-cylinder masterpiece delivered roughly 175 horsepower and around 102 pound-feet of torque. Yet it remained eerily smooth, almost gentle, until you opened the throttle and unleashed its real personality. What made it unreal was not simply the output, it was the character. The engine pulled with a deep, rolling surge across the entire Revving range, offering the civility of a long-distance tour with the punch of a lightweight superbike. Riders described it as addictive, graceful, and strangely comforting, even as it hurled the bike towards supercar speeds. Powerful, durable, endlessly refined, a true benchmark. But even the Hayabusa had a mission: top-end dominance. It did not try to be the perfect track weapon or the sharpest corner carver. It was built for speed, not for the screaming, high-revving fury that superbike purists worship. So now we turn to the next engines that perfected that other path. Power plants designed to scream past 14,000 RPM, sharpen reflexes, and deliver a kind of mechanical intensity that no hyper-tourer could ever match. Number 3, the High-Revving Inline 4 Superbike engines. These engines scream. The modern High-Revving Inline 4 is a precision-built weapon designed to spin into the stratosphere and stay there. Imagine a 16-valve, dual overhead cam, 4-cylinder, twisting past well over 12,000 revolutions per minute, holding its breath until the final heartbeat before redline. That soaring RPM, that metallic howl, and that hair-trigger response are exactly why this engine family deserves a place among the most unreal creations ever bolted into a motorcycle frame. Examples prove the point. Yamaha's YZF-R1 channels that High-Revving fury through its cross-plane inline 4. Honda's CBR1000RR Fireblade sharpens the recipe even further, turning race technology into street reality. Kawasaki's ZX-10R and Suzuki's GSX-R1000 follow the same blueprint. Lightweight internals, tight valve control, and blistering top-end power. They do something no low-revvy twin or V4 can replicate. They turn acceleration into a living, rising symphony. But perfection can sometimes feel clinical. And in the pursuit of absolute refinement, something more primitive, more soulful, risks being forgotten. Because long before inline fours ruled the track, another engine layout captured the imagination of riders with its rhythm, its voice, and its fiercely mechanical personality. And to understand how unreal motorcycle engines truly became, we need to look back at the power plants that shaped the very identity of motorcycling itself. Number 2, the foundational classic era, V-twin. Before superbikes, before electronics, before red lines soared into the heavens, there was the engine that gave motorcycling its heartbeat, the early V-twin. Think Harley-Davidson's Flathead, Knucklehead, and Panhead families, Indian Scout and Big Chief Mills, simple, long-stroke twins that produced immediate low RPM shove, and a sound that carved out an entire culture. These engines were not about peak horsepower. Their magic came from architecture. Pushrod valve trains, broad torque delivered right off idle, and a mechanical rhythm that made every ride feel personal. Collectors still chase that feeling. Restored knuckleheads and panheads routinely sell for tens of thousands of dollars, and high-grade replica engines continue to command serious money. But even the engines that shaped history have limits. They evolved, improved, and defined generations. Yet they still operated within the boundaries of production and practicality. The most unreal engine of all belongs to a different category entirely. Machines built without rules, without compromises, and without fear of going too far. Because at the very top of this list stands an engine so radical, so experimental, and so untamed that it represents the purest form of mechanical imagination, a reminder that the greatest innovations begin where convention ends. Number 1, experimental and racing prototype engines. If unreal means throwing out the rulebook, nothing beats experimental and racing prototype engines. These were never about convenience or mass production. They were pure engineering obsession, chasing the question, how far can a motorcycle engine go? Consider Moto Guzzi's 1950s 500cc V8 GP engine. 8 tiny cylinders packed into a single bike, fast, fragile, and fantastically complex. Or Honda's NR750 with oval pistons and exotic internals derived from GP racing, just 300 made, commanding roughly US $70,000 at auction today. Ducati's Desmosedici RR, a near MotoGP V4, follows the same ethos. Tiny production, sky-high performance, collector reverence. These engines rewrote engineering rules, inspired decades of design, and still define the word unreal. If this gave you a glimpse into the absolute extremes of motorcycle engines and left you craving even more, check out the next video popping up on your screen. Hit like, drop a hype, and subscribe. Let's keep exploring the engines and stories that changed everything.